Alright. The diabetic video. I gotta scoot back. Perfect. Okay, so, as my name might entitle, I am ESD strap on my wrist. Okay. I am a diabetic. Type 1 diabetic, to be specific. Look at me. I'm not round. Okay. So, let me tell you a story. A song of my really, really fucked up people, perhaps. We're on my bed, by the way. This is probably, without showing you my face. It's a little better? I don't know. I just look really close. Who cares? So, when I might have kind of ran away from home. And when I was 17, when I was 16, things first started to become a little problematic in my home. And by literally like a week after my 17th birthday, I was like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. Story for a different day. But the reason I was so afraid of running away was because I was afraid of losing my independence. And by independence, I mean life. Because of being a diabetic. So, being a diabetic includes a lot of expense, medical expenses. I mean, they're all medical expenses, but prescriptions, like insulin, syringes, test strips for your glucose meter, occasionally a new glucose meter because most of them are made really poorly and suck. Did I already say syringes? I don't know. But the point is, doctor's visits. That will bite you in the ass. So the point is, it can be really challenging being a type 1 diabetic. And I was really, really concerned about running away because of my diabetes. So I ended up I don't have my bottle of water today, damn it. I ended up being really concerned about and really afraid of running away, as one should be. But when you're not a diabetic, it's a lot less scary because you're not sure if you're going to lose your life if you run out of insulin. So what ended up happening was, anyways, long story short, the kind of most important thing that happened was some drug dealers that my boyfriend's, I'm not gay, that my mother's boyfriend, we'll refer to him as Fat Piece of Shit. So Fat Piece of Shit ended up owing some money to some drug dealers. They came to the house and of course no one was fucking there because they were out buying fucking drugs and I had to deal with them. And that wasn't really cool with me. I've always been a really big kind of gun nut. And I was kind of, I did have weapons in the house, but I was like, okay, first of all, my weapons can be traced back to someone else that I really care about that I don't want getting in trouble because it could jeopardize their life and their career. So multiple people actually. So the decision I made was that I was done with it and I needed to take my guns, myself, and what insulin and clothes I could fit into a bag and go. And it was an easy decision for me then for a few reasons. Mainly because I had been thinking about it for a while, and the second that Fat Piece of Shit walked into my world, I just knew that the clock had kind of begun, and I was just like, yeah, we're gonna have to do this. So that happened. And I already knew that I was going to have to leave. It wasn't an if, it was a when. And so I just left. And honestly, I didn't really know what I was going to do about insulin. Fortunately, I read some fantastic web articles, I will link them if I can find them, that started talking about this Novolin R and N. So when you're a type 1 diabetic, there's two types of insulin. There's a basal and a bolus. Basal insulin is long-acting. You take it once or twice a day, and it just kind of, it helps you stabilize, keep that good blood sugar line. Bolus insulin is what you take when you eat food. So if I was to... Oh, fuck. If I was to drink Dr. Pepper from a lovely Arby's cup, because Arby's is a fantastic restaurant and you should support them, and we will talk about why later, then if I was to eat a meal, drink something with sugar, anything with carbs in it, I would need to take that that kind of bolus insulin dose. So, and they are separate types of insulin. So I read an article about it, and they were saying if you go to Walmart, which, trust me, I hate Walmart. They do it at Walgreens as well, but you have to have a coupon, and there's kind of a few finicky things with it. There are a few different pharmacies that will do it, and we'll talk about my experience with Walgreens in a minute. But so I looked up, or I started looking it up and reading about it. It's a unit for unit replacement. So the only big difference is that if you are using the Novolog, it doesn't act in 15 minutes. So most insulin acts in 15-ish minutes, most modern insulin. So like Novolin, it's not Novolin, is it? So like Novolog, Novolog, I was on Humalog. Those all act in 15 minutes. They're still fast-acting insulins, and they act in 15 minutes. So the Novolin is also a fast-acting insulin. It's just not a super fast-acting insulin. It's a unit for unit replacement, but you're going to want to take it, instead of 15 minutes before your meal, 30. And that can be really difficult for a lot of people, and I understand that. It works for me personally, and this is all subjective. This is my experience with this product that I think is a great product. It works quickly, sorry, my head's getting jumbled. It's been a long day. I just got home from work doing shocking myself with 5 kilovolts and such. So we insulin is Novolin as an insulin acts in 30 minutes. Me personally, I try not to eat out as much. It's been a struggle lately, but when I eat dinners, when I eat lunches, when I eat breakfasts, I usually end up making it myself. And that helps me in a variety of ways, because the way I have kind of plan my diabetes flow is that I plan what I'm going to eat, I take the insulin for it, and then I make it, and then I eat it. And making food for me usually takes, I mean, it depends, but it takes about half an hour, 20 minutes at the absolute best time. It depends. Usually for like a basic kind of quickish meal, it takes about 20 minutes to an hour to make. So that gives me, if I take my insulin in 30 minutes before, or I take my insulin right before I start making food, it usually hits about in the right area. I am not a good diabetic. I am a really shitty diabetic, and I am not absolutely perfect at the way I manage my diabetes, mainly because my life has not been super kind in providing me a lot of time with which to manage it. Everything I do is not the way you should probably be doing it. I haven't been to an endocrinologist for years. I haven't seen any sort of diabetes doctor for years. That is bad. You shouldn't do that. Okay? I will urge you all the way to go see an endocrinologist, go get their opinion on it, but at the same time, don't let them push you around. If you want to try this insulin and maybe you don't have insurance, which I will get to talking about, which is another upside of this insulin, or you just don't, you're really tight on money, you don't have insurance, any problem like that, then don't let them push you around and just say, there's no way for me to use this more expensive insulin. Can we please use the cheaper stuff? And we can, that will just be easier for me. And if your doctor says no, and that you should be using the more expensive stuff, it's honestly up to you what to do, but I would say that they're full of shit and you need a new doctor. So, because the doctors do get kickbacks for prescribing certain medications. So I had a doctor, there's really two companies that provide this stuff. It's Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. So I had a doctor who would only prescribe me Novo Nordisk prescriptions, even though the doctor before had me on Eli Lilly prescriptions and they worked better for me. This doctor just decided that, hey, I'm not going to prescribe you anything but the prescriptions that Novo Nordisk makes. That's Novolog and is it Novolin? Is that their basal, right? I really don't know. Anyways, it was Novolog and their basal flavor. I really... Hang on. It's gonna bother me. So... Sorry, bear with me. I think it's Novolin. No. That's wrong. So... insulin. So, anyways, I got to a point where I heard about this drug. I used... Focus? Hello? Come on. Okay. I use the term drug lightly because insulin is not really a drug in the kind of... in the way that people would usually think about it. Is it Levemir? That doesn't sound right. It might be Levemir. I really don't know. But it was so long ago. But I had Runaway. I had about 2 weeks of insulin on me, and I kind of knew that shit was gonna hit the fan if I didn't find a solution. Fortunately, I did manage to get together with the diabetes clinic near me. They were really great. If you go to a diabetes clinic, and don't do this unless you really need it, because there are people that need this help, and you need to not just do it because you can, you need to do it because you need it. They were able to provide me, it's called a sample vial. It's basically an entire vial of insulin, and it's just a sample vial. And it's a full vial of insulin, and they will give it to you. Your mileage may vary. Some clinics have better or worse kind of terms with this. But it's definitely something that could help you. Eventually I said, okay, you know what? I'm almost out of insulin. I'm gonna start going into DKA if I try to avoid taking insulin any more than I already am. So let's just do it. So I go to Walmart and say, can I get a vial of Novolin R and N? And I am freaking the fuck out because I don't have a prescription for this stuff. I've never used it before, and I don't even know if they're going to sell it to me. And lo and behold, the lady comes back out of the, oh my god, she comes back out of the back room with a bottle of Novolin N and a bottle of Novolin R, and she sells them to me right fucking then and there, and I almost fucking cried. It was pretty intense for me, to know that the nightmare was over and I could finally really be on my own, and I could have a way to get my insulin with and just not have to worry about, am I gonna die in a few days because I'm out of insulin, or am I gonna have to go to the hospital, am I gonna lose a leg because I'm out of insulin. So that was absolutely amazing. So I've got a little bit of a haul video for you today. I went, because of coronavirus, I wanted to have a good stockpile of insulin on hand. And I went to Walmart yesterday and, well, let's just say I found out the amount they will give me in one day. But we will talk about that in just a sec. I'm just going to go get it. The video is probably not going to pause, but I'll be right back. Alright, we're doing this live. Oh, this bed is squishy. I just got it. Let me kind of blank out some of this receipt here. Yeah. Okay, that should be good enough. You're just going to have to take my word for it. Both of these receipts are exactly the same. So I did some kind of chintzy stuff, and they will only give you, it is Walmart's policy to only give you 4 vials, period. It doesn't matter if the vials are N, they won't give you 4 vials of N and 4 vials of R. They will give you 4 vials, period. So you can get 2 of N and 2 of R, or 3 of R and 4 of N. Personally, I have a little bit of N in my fridge left over, so I decided that I would rather just get R. And this is another thing about this insulin. You can buy as much of it as you want, almost. You can buy the absolute limit they will give you, and you don't have to talk to your doctor about it. You don't have to talk to anyone about this. This is between you and Walmart, which is really a great thing. So, hang on. Oh, jeez. That is not as satisfying as water. So what I had to do was, I was with someone, and I have a HSA card. If you don't know what that is, it's a health savings account. The way my company is set up is I get, if I put in at least $2 a month, I get 2 paychecks, so that's $2 every paycheck. they will put in $1,000 a year into my HSA. So what that roughly works out to is I put in bare minimum $1 every month, and they put in $45 about every month. So with how much this insulin costs, me personally, I don't necessarily have to put money into that HSA. I do, I put actually a fair bit of money into my HSA just because I like to buy other things with my HSA card as well. It is tax-free. So as long as you're buying prescriptions, medications, stuff like that, you don't have to pay for it. And you don't have to pay taxes on it, respectively. Don't quote me on that, and don't use this in my IRS court hearing. But yeah, so I was with someone else. They were kind enough to take me to the Walmart because I don't have a car at the moment. I live so close to my everyday shopping center and my work and like 5 different restaurants I like. I just live right in the heart of everything. So getting a car for me right now, it would kind of be pointless because 95% of the time I need the exercise walking, and it would just be sitting in my driveway doing nothing. So I was with someone else, and so they let me buy 8 vials altogether because there were 2 people. I did have to do it in separate transactions though. So I got 4 bottles of Novolin R for... Sorry. Oh God, you can see my face. I'm sorry. I'm ugly. I got 4 bottles of Novolin R for $24.88 each. So that is $99.52 for 4 bottles, 10 milliliter bottles of Novolin R. And I will take one of these out and show you because I do actually need to open one. And then I got a 100 syringes for $12.58. So overall, this was $112.10 times 2. So you do the math because I can't. So I actually, yeah, and I'm just going to tell you, these syringes are fantastic. They are the best syringes. It blew my mind. When I went to get some of these syringes initially, I was like, oh God, these are going to be horrible, they're going to be crap. Yeah, these are more comfortable than the BD syringes I used to use. The top of the line syringes aren't as comfortable as these. These are the I hate Walmart. I think they have really shitty business practices. I think that they are trying to politicize their business, and that is really fucking stupid. I think that they ship most of their products from China, and most of their stuff is absolute shit. I hate Walmart, but this is done right. This is the way you should do it. This is the way diabetes care should be done. I should be able to go and buy whatever the hell I need right then and there for a fair price. And you want to know something? This wasn't sponsored by the fucking government. This wasn't paid for by my tax dollars. This is what insulin actually costs to make. And because Walmart is willing to sell it to you for the real fucking price, I can actually afford it. I can buy as much of this as I want. I can have as much in my stockpile as I want, so I don't just have to have some insurance company telling me that I can only have a 30-day supply. No, I can buy as much of this as I want. And you want to know what enables this? It's not socialism, it's not socialized medicine, it's the free goddamn market. And if you don't like that, you can fucking leave. Anyways, these are the Rely-On insulin syringes. These are the ones I really, really enjoy. Is it mirroring my camera? What? That is so bizarre. Okay, whatever. I'll deal with that later. Anyways, what this does say is, these are, I prefer 1 milliliter or 1 cc syringes, so that's 100 units of insulin. These are 31 gauge, 8 millimeter, and I swear to God, these are the most comfortable syringes I have ever used, ever. And I have used a lot of syringes. You might ask why I'm using syringes and not pens or pen needles. honestly, pens and pen needles are overpriced. I don't know. They make more waste. They're overpriced, and honestly, I don't think they're that much more convenient. That's my personal opinion. Do as you will. So I have 2 boxes of these to keep in stock. And then, let me see if I can show you this receipt here. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's trying. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I can't because I'm too far away and I need new glasses. So yeah, the total for 4 things of insulin, which is the max they will give you per person per day, plus a entire thing of syringes, is $112. For a non-diabetic, that might sound like a lot. For a diabetic, yeah, that's fucking pocket change compared to what we usually pay. And I have 2 of those bags, so I'll actually open those right now. Oh my god. Okay, here we are, and let me just, oh my lord. Oh boy. Okay, I'm doing my best. So this is what 8 bottles of insulin looks like. What did this cost me in total? I don't know. I can't do math, but a hell of a lot. This in total is probably about the same price as one of the bottles of insulin from, like, one of the Humalog or Novolog bottles of insulin. These are probably the same fucking price without insurance. I did not use insurance on this at all. No insurance. No insurance, no prescription, nothing. I went to Walmart and said, I want this. And they gave it to me, and I paid and walked out the door. That's it. Okay? So here are the things. And I'm pretty sure they do make this stuff in pens as well. I personally don't like pens because I think they're wasteful. You end up throwing a lot of plastic away. Hey, there it is. Novolin R. So this bottle goes bad 10/21. So I January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yes, October of 2021. I don't know about you, but in my country, in my dimension, in my time zone, yeah, that's like a year and a half away. So this stuff lasts. If you're gonna use this, you can keep a lot on hand and keep rotating through it. And it removes some of the fear of, what if something goes wrong with my insurance? What if something goes wrong with the prescription? What am I gonna do? Because you don't have to worry about it. Because you wanna know why? Personally, when I'm really stressed, my insulin dose goes way up. Personally, this amount could probably last me about, if I was rationing really hard, I could probably make this last for a year. So if something happens, if you lose your job, if you lose your insurance, if your prescription goes out of whack, you've already got this in the fridge. This is safety. This is something that could save your life very quickly. These all have the same expiration date on them. So, I don't know. I'm a big proponent of this just because it makes it easier to keep yourself safe. If you are a prepper and a diabetic, which I know there are some out there, it's kind of an oxymoron because why are you prepping if you can't survive? Well, you can't survive without insulin, so how do you prep insulin? You can't because your insurance won't let you have more than a month on hand. That just changed because of this. If you're a prepper, you can start stocking up on this. Every time you need a brand new vial, go and buy 4 vials instead. And then you have a massive stockpile of insulin, so if anything goes wrong, if shit hits the fan, if something happens, you have plenty of this on hand and you can survive. As long as it doesn't get above, I don't know, I'm sure it sells on this. Okay, as long as it doesn't get above, okay, my thing just stopped recording, so I guess I'm gonna have to cut that together. Not sure where I stopped, but as long as this doesn't get above 77 Fahrenheit, this insulin will be fine. So as long as you've got it in somewhere where it won't get above 77 degrees Fahrenheit, you're all right, bud. So let's crack this open, why not? I do need a new bottle. I do need to take a shot for the Dr. Pepper I just drank. I probably should have taken it before I drank it. One of the bad things about Novolin R. So, don't need that. Here we are. Let's try and get that to... Come on. It doesn't like me today. I don't wanna... There you go. Oh well, it's not doing it. Anyways, this is my bottle of Novolin R. This will probably... I've been really stressed out at work for a while, so this will probably not last more than a month for me at the moment. But there are a lot of people that can really stretch these out. And if you want to stretch these out, there's an amino acid. There's an amino acid called taurine. Start taking it religiously. If you're diabetic, start taking it religiously. It will flatten your numbers out and it will help you. I absolutely mean it. Okay? You might want to watch your insulin dosage because it makes your insulin more effective. But especially if you have really, really high dosage of insulin, start taking taurine. I don't know how to spell it. Go find your nearest Monster can and it'll say on the back taurine. You'll know what it says, okay? Find it. You can start buying it with every meal, with every insulin shot you take. I usually take about 1,000 milligrams. Take at least 500 milligrams of taurine every single time you take a shot and eat, and it will change your life. And I mean that. I'll do a separate video on that. So here's my little bottle of insulin. This is the cap of it. They have these little orange caps at Walmart. This might change by region, I'm not sure. If it doesn't have this cap on it, throw it away. It's not worth your life. It could be tainted and you just don't want to fuck with that, honestly. So yeah, this is my bottle of Novolin R. And I have 7 more of these now. And next time I go back, I'm going to buy 4 more. Because I want to have enough in my fridge that if anything happens, I am safe. Food storage isn't because we want the world to end. Food storage isn't because we think the world is going to end necessarily. Food storage is for we want to be prepared and we want to have our safety and our family's safety ensured if the world was to end. And we're not even talking about the world ending. We're talking about, look at the economic crisis in the 2000s, the global economic crisis. Do you really think that diabetics could have afforded to go and buy a $300 vial of insulin when they can't make house payments and they can't afford food for their children? I don't think so. This bottle of insulin is not about stocking up for the end of the world because we're all going to die tomorrow. This is about having something on hand so if anything does happen, because it is, even if you don't think it is likely that something will happen eventually, be it an earthquake, be it a power outage, be it a stop of service, the grocery store is just running out of insulin, be it a pandemic, which is what we could be facing right now. You know, especially if it was during a pandemic, would you really want to leave your house to go get insulin? And even if you did leave your house to go get insulin, do you really think that the supermarkets and all of your pharmacies wouldn't be stocked out? Because I can tell you they would very quickly. People panic and they go absolutely berserk. They'll buy everything immediately as quickly as possible because they didn't get ready. So get ready. Go buy 4 vials of insulin and then you have it in your fridge if you need it. if you don't need it, well, first of all, if you do need it, it can be good until October of 2021. That's a long time. And you know what? At that point, that's the suggested best buy date. At that point, it might start losing some life, not being quite as good. But as long as the vial isn't cloudy, it's fine. You can still take it. Okay? It might not be as effective, but it is still safe to take. The only time that insulin is not safe to take anymore is if the vial gets cloudy, then it's done. You have to throw it out. That's it. If you do plan on buying Novolin N and not just Novolin R like I do, well, I do buy Novolin N, I just didn't this time. Keep in mind that the vial will be cloudy. Novolin N, it just comes cloudy. You're going to want to shake it up a little bit before you use it. You can find instructions on how to do that online, or you can talk to your endocrinologist about it. So, you know what? For me, this is just security. If tomorrow, all of a sudden, all of the pharmacies don't have any insulin for whatever reason, which is possible, it is totally possible, I am safe. I will be okay. And you know what? For under $30 a vial, for $24.88 a vial, I really think that this is a good investment. Me personally, I don't just use this as disaster emergency stock. I use this every day. I have heard a lot of horror stories about Novolin R, and I think most of them are fake. I really do. Because honestly, this stuff has saved my life. This stuff has saved my life. It's provided me my freedom, and it's saved my life. And there's nothing worth more to me than my freedom and my life. And this little bottle right here, that wasn't provided by social medicine, that wasn't provided by socialists or communists, that was provided by the free market, has saved my life. This is a very important bottle, and this is a very big bottle. It might be little, but this is very big. Okay? This is important. So I would highly encourage, if you're a diabetic, if you're in a really hard time, maybe you don't have insurance anymore, maybe, I don't know, if anything's happening in your life and you're a diabetic and you just can't afford your insulin, you need to check this out. This will save your life like it did mine. And if you are a diabetic that is struggling, God bless you. Really. God bless you. And I hope you the best. I hope you can find your way, because it is fucking difficult, especially, you know, for like a for like a 17-year-old kid that doesn't know what the hell, doesn't know what's going to happen next, and doesn't know if they're going to be safe tomorrow, and doesn't know if they're not going to be able to have any insulin tomorrow. This is very important, and more people should know about it. You're not always stuck with the super expensive, super high-end insulin. There is another option, and if you don't have any money, you don't need to go sell yourself. You don't need to go sell a kidney to do this, okay? You don't need to sell yourself to survive. That is not the way that you should be living. You should have the quality and the life that you should be afforded by our modern system of living. And you know what? Our modern system of living isn't socialism. It's not socialized medicine. It's not communism. It's free market capitalism. And free market capitalism has brought us one of the cheapest vials of insulin in the world. Okay? When they say you can get a free vial of insulin in Canada, that is a lie. And you want to know why it's a lie? It's because those people pay taxes on their taxes. they pay taxes on their sales taxes, and they pay almost 50% of their wage to tax. So that bottle of insulin is not free. In fact, it's probably more expensive than this one is, or than the Novolog is, even without insurance. There's only one thing I'm going to say as a diabetic, and that's that socialized medicine is not the answer. Free market is the answer. And the reason that most insulins are so expensive is because there is no competition. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, it stifles competition on purpose. It's so they can make more money. So this is basically a generic insulin. It still does the same damn thing. It acts a little bit slower, but it will do everything you need it to do. And if you're getting lied to by your doctors saying that there's no other option, if you're in crushing financial debt and you just can't afford a $300 bottle of insulin, this is the bottle of insulin for you. This is what will save your life, okay? And this is what will enable you to have that quality of life. Because believe me, for a long time, I was at the point where I just didn't eat carbs at all. I would try to... I lived on cans of tuna for a long time, which I don't actually hate. I think it's quite good for you, other than the potential mercury risks, but that can be avoided, believe it or not. Anyways, I was trying to live on protein because I didn't want to intake carbs because I couldn't afford insulin. And honestly, as much as I enjoy that lifestyle because I'm an absolute carnivore and I love meat, it's not a good lifestyle. It's not a good quality of life to be able, or to not be able to go, do what you want and eat what you want and live how you want. So this bottle of insulin is more important than just a bottle of insulin, because this bottle of insulin will set you free. This is the bottle of insulin that will enable you to live your life how you want, when you want, and where you want. And I can say nothing but thank you to the lab technicians, to the marketing team, to the people at Walmart who decided that they wanted to do this and have this available at their stores. All I can say is thank you for providing this bottle of insulin and for giving me my life back. Because I wouldn't have made it here without you. And thank you. So, yeah, that's where I stand. This is Novolin R. I'm serious. If you're going through some hard times, even if you just want to cut your medical bill or your prescriptions bill, go check it out. Don't turn your nose up until you try it. If you can, discuss it with your endocrinologist. And if they're not very receptive to it, honestly, go find a new endocrinologist that actually cares about your health. And not just what the money that's going into their pockets. So that is my official statement, and I hope that this guides some people into freedom and being able to really enjoy their lives and not worry as much as they used to. So, yeah, this is my bedroom. This is Novolin R. And I want to stretch out. I can't stretch out all the way because you'll see my face. It's been a pretty rough day. I haven't gotten my check yet, so I can't do more water reviews. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon, and yeah, hopefully this helps you out. All right. Stay safe now, y'all.